Oh, that's bright. Ah, that's better. Who doesn't like to be basking in a nice warm glow, you know? Just going out today. It was lovely, you know? There was this bright light in the sky, you know? I've not seen it for ages. And no crisscrossing geoengineering bullshit going on. It was lovely. And I took the girls out earlier on today, and I took them out again tonight, and they both sat there like they've just had a spliff each. So when they're relaxed, I'm relaxed, you know, because I know I've done my job. Right, who's with me? Say hello. Come on, say hello. I'll try not to keep it too long. It was a little test earlier on. I needed to make sure that we were good to go for the next one, and we are. So I've got no answer. We've got no answer as to why the audio went, but it doesn't matter because it's fine now. So say hello. Don't be shy. Hello, matey. You all right? Hey, Michael. Good to see you, brother. Michael, gonna need you to keep your eyes open on this chat, and I'll sort of explain why. Okay, but we'll wait for a few more people to chime in. I want everyone to say hello. You know, come on, don't be shy. I was going to follow that up by saying your mum wasn't, and then I did. I'm so sorry. Oh man. Cheers, Michael. Aeonic Arc. That's a very, very interesting username. I like that. Is that something to do with welding? Nice to meet you, my friend, and thanks for joining us. I don't recognise the username, but yeah, you know, nice to see you, man. Or woman, I'm not quite sure. If you're a welder, chances are you're a bloke. Just saying, not being sexist. I'm not a sexist. I'm not a bigot. You know, don't jump on me. I don't need any more shit today. So, Thurston, yeah, I knew you were a bloke. And is it something to do with welding? Because I know you've got arc welding. I don't know how to weld. I just know it's fucking expensive. Hello, Lulu. You all right, sweetheart? I ain't seen you for a while. Yeah, good to see you all. Right, so I just want to get one thing out of the way, right? There's a chance that someone's either watching this now or is going to be watching it who has sent me some emails, proper threatening, violent emails, right? And they want a public apology. And that is never, ever, ever going to fucking happen. Ever. So I want to just get this out of the way. I've got to be careful how I put this across because I don't want this to interfere with a future investigation because I have put this to the police. The amount of self-incriminating shit that was in these emails was ridiculous. You know, even admitting to a crime that he actually got away with in court, whether that's true or not is irrelevant. All I'm saying is never send an email to someone when you're feeling when you're enraged. I've said in previous videos, when you reach rage, which is you could quite easily get there in this day and age because we've got shit coming at us from all directions, and that makes us better people to be able to maintain some sort of self-control. You know, I do it. You know, we get stressed from time to time. We'll be looking at information, doing a little bit of research, and think, fuck me, you know, and have these little pieces of the puzzles coming together in our heads and making these realizations that can cause a bit of stress for us, you know. And out there we've got an army of lunatics, absolute lunatics. And when I went on this on that march yesterday, Antifa were there, and the flags that these people were flying were crazy. Now I was looking to my left, looking to my right, all I was seeing was smiles and solidarity, you know, absolute unity, flying our flags. You know, it was fucking beautiful. It was beautiful. I'm going to the next one, right, which is in Birmingham. Now that's going to be a challenge because Birmingham is very multicultural, which is our strength. So to that person, you will never get an apology. You started this. I will fucking finish this. This guy, I've got to be careful because I don't want it to affect anything further down the line with the police investigation. Right? He's stated that he reckons that he's checked on Google Earth and he's found where I live. And I've always stated if you turn up with an army, whether it's people that can't speak my language or whether it's uniformed, I will have broken no law. So if anyone turns up at my house, it will be nefarious, and I'm fucking ready for that. And I don't fear. I've got no fear, and I mean that. You know, I mean that. No fear. I'll take anyone on. You know, I don't abuse any of you guys. All I've ever tried to do is help. So if someone gets a little bit fucking twisted, and they're out there, we've seen them. I saw them on the march. I was there with Lulu and Paul Twigger. You know, I met two more of our lovely little tribe there, and it was lovely. It was lovely. You know, it was lovely to meet them both. And yeah, Lulu's not as she's not as feisty as she gives off. Well, she is actually. But yeah, I will never ever tolerate anyone threatening violence against me, ever. But I'm trying to go down the right route, you know, the lawful route first. And if anything turns up at my doorstep, it turns up at my doorstep, and I'll fucking deal with it. I will. We just know that all of the neighbours across the road from me have all got Ring doorbells. I've got CCTV. I've got 2 dogs, and I'm armed to fuck. You know, I'm unbreakable. You know, I will defend my castle and I will defend myself. I don't give a fuck. You know, I'll help little old ladies across the road. I'll help anyone that's in distress. I will, you know. But if anyone comes at me, I'll have them. I don't care how fucking big they are. I could look up at a monster of a man, and I won't be thinking, I can't do that. I'll be thinking, how can I do that? How can I do that? Because I'm solution based, just like many of you guys. You know, we're solution based. We figure it out. We find a way. Always find a way. So yeah, there is a chance, Michael, that he might be in here under a different name. But he needs to know there's no apologize. No apologies. Nothing. And you will be getting a knock on the door. And if I get a knock on the door, I'll fucking deal with it. It's as simple as that. No fear. No fear. No, I just had to think of a name. Well, if I tell you what, Aeonic Arc is a very, very interesting thing to just pop into your mind. You know, I like that. I love quirky people. I love them. As long as they're not fucking dangerous. Do you know what I mean? Fuck me. Chelsea Star, you don't need to retract comments. Not in this channel. You know, I'm very, very pro free speech. Just speak your mind, you know, and there are no no people here that really judge, you know. As long as you're all just respectful to each other, no one will ever have a problem with you, ever. Just speak your mind. It's all good. Yeah, Michael. Yeah. Yeah, Ruthie. How you doing, sweetheart? Yeah, we'll hey, you know, look, Chelsea Star, are you from Chelsea? Are you from Chelsea, are you? Are you? Do you drive a rather posh car and smoke gold-plated cigarettes while sat on a 24-karat gold toilet? Or is your name Chelsea? Let me know. But yeah, spelling mistakes. I'm terrible for it. But then I do proofread stuff before I send, because it's just embarrassing, you know. When you get the wrong word in there, it can take everything out of context. Before you know it, you've asked someone to marry you when all you've said is you want to go for a pint. You don't need that shit. Is he physically threatening you now, T? He sent a couple of emails. I've got to be careful about what I say, because it could impede like for future court proceedings or anything. He's going to get a knock on the door, you know, because I won't tolerate it. But I am trying to go down the proper routes first. But if he wants to escalate it and come to my door, you know, I've not got a massive moat around this house full of fucking crocodiles, you know. It's accessible. So it is what it is, you know. I've got no fear, and I can handle myself. I'm all right, don't worry. But I didn't start this. Sadly, there are a lot of people who claim to be on our side who aren't. A lot of people can't see that, but I know you do. I do, sweetheart. Sometimes it can take a little bit of time before you start to, you know, usually within a couple of minutes of actually talking to someone, I think, you know, top drawer, or something wrong, or something in the middle. And, you know, that's life. That's human nature. And it's always been that way. There's always been people out there that are innately good people, you know, really good souls. And those innately good people are a mixture of people that get taken advantage of because of their kindness, and then people that are kind that people try to take advantage of, and they get slapped off, and there's no chance, there's no coming back. You know, they've lost a potential friend that would take a bullet for them, you know, so it's their loss. But it's all about trying to read people. And again, you know, I've had an interesting life, and I'm a very, very good judge of character. So I don't let any twats into my life. Anyone that makes their way into my life, I would take a bullet for them, a literal bullet for them. And I believe that a lot of these people would also do the same for me too. And if we can create a society, even if it's just a small one here and a small one there and a small one there, and then we all come together, unbelievably formidable, you know. And I'm hoping that the police have learned from the last few years that fuck around and find out, you know. No that you're meant to be there for us, even though you're working for the Crown, which is a corporation, and we're not corporate. Your job is meant to be to make sure we're all right. And I'm not seeing a lot of that going on. But the police at this rally were spot on. You know, they kept these, as the march started off, there were Antifa flags there. There were so many people with their like face masks on, lots and lots of coverings. They were the most active. They're the most suspicious ones to me, because you just don't know if they're agitators working on behalf of the police, because we all know that that's happened numerous times, you know. And I was talking earlier on, I was mentioning, does anyone remember some footage? I think it was from 2020. It was either 2021 or 2022. It was summer, and there were loads and loads and loads of people out, and it was like a mass, you know, somewhere in London, and there was a group of people that were playing music. You know, they were jamming together, like just someone on some bongo drums, someone with a guitar, someone with something else, and you know, and they were just jamming away. And the police started to break through the crowd to get to these people, right? It didn't fare well for them very well. It didn't fare well for them at all, you know. And there were injuries sustained by the police. But fuck about and find out. These people were peaceful. They were being peaceful, you know. Don't fuck with us. Help us. Pick a side. Because to any police officer, I mean, there's a chance that they might see this live stream now, because I've put in, you know, about a certain person. So they might see this. And I hope they do. You're meant to be there for us, you know. Don't fuck with us. Help us and try and shrink that divide between us and you, because that divide is fucking massive right now. Because all we've seen is two-tier policing. We've seen ignorant police officers walking past taxis where there's been a young white girl being raped in the back of this taxi, and they've fucking turned a blind eye. There are example after example after example. You know, do your fucking job. So try and bring that divide down again. You know, I remember when I was a kid seeing bobbies on the beat, walking the streets. We don't see that anymore. You know, they're all driving around in cars, you know, or motorbikes. Sometimes here and there on a mountain bike. And they're the worst ones, because they're pissed off because they haven't got a car. Getting pissed on, you know, in the rain, you know, in the snow, on mountain bikes, you know, smashing the bollocks to pieces. Know what side you're on, please. Please. Know what side you're on. Be on the right side of history. Be with us. Because I'm pretty sure that most of you guys know, apart from the ones that are just, you know, roided up fucking egos in fancy dress, you know, this video doesn't apply to you. You are fucking irrelevant. But to all of the other decent police officers that have still got a heart, especially the new ones, when I say the new ones, a lot of them are woke. Just know that line, you know, just stay on it, and you'll get that respect back from the public again. But we need to see actions. You know, your top boss is a cunt, you know, and you need to know that he is. Oh, and Chris is here. Hello, Chrissy. You all right, mate? I have to be careful with some of these loons. A guy on YouTube called Secret Vault who does urbex fell out with someone who proceeded to get him swatted 3 to 4 times. It went on for 2 years. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. I'm a prepper. And I'm a prepper with an edge. So I'm not bothered. It doesn't bother me. You know, I'd rather it didn't happen. I'd rather this wasn't happening. You know, I'm only human. I could do without any extra shit, because the world is dishing out enough as it is, and I'm having to deal with that on top of pointing out facts that a lot of YouTubers aren't pointing out, which is already potentially making me a target further down the line. And opinions on stuff that make complete sense to me. Not all of it I've got proof of, but it makes common sense to me, that I'll also point out. So I've got all of this shit going on in the world, you know, the same as you guys have. So adding unhinged people to that, I could do without it, but it is what it is. You know, if it comes, it comes. There's very, very little I'm not ready for. Very little. Apart from a grand piano on my head. Like I've said in a previous video, I'm not prepared for that, you know. But I don't walk around like that. And I don't look over my shoulder. I don't need to, you know. If you can hone your senses, if you haven't already, you'll know what I mean, you know. Your spidey senses, your instincts, start honing them, and they'll get you through. They will. The vid on his channel is called 100% Stalker. Well, I did. You see, stalking is considered quite a serious crime, and I have accused this particular person of stalking because I believe that he picked a brand new, set up a brand new YouTube account. He's insisting that he didn't, but I said I called him out, took and screenshotted it. Again, I can't mention any names, but I think one or two of you will know. But please don't mention it in the chat, okay? But I knew it was him, because the account was 7 minutes old, and it was negative and aggressive. So I'm not fucking stupid. I've been around the block, then around the block again, and then spun around the block another 1,000 times. I've been there. I've done that. There's very little that life can fucking throw at me now that I've not experienced already. You know, think of the worst shit that can happen apart from death that you can experience in life, and I've experienced it. You know, and I'm here, and I'm still sane. Oh gosh, bugging out is a frightening prospect. AA attendee. Now, by the way, I've only just got AA attendee. I've only just got the whole I'm drinking 99% wine thing. It took a while, so I'm sorry. You know, I hope that you're not, you know, addicted anymore or whatever, you know, or I hope it's just like a joke, you know. Bugging out's not necessarily a bad thing if you know what you're doing, if you know where to go, but it's got to be planned ahead. You've got to plan ahead, really fucking plan ahead. I mean, you can turn your house into a fortress, and yeah, and you wouldn't believe what you can do. You can take out swathes of people that mean you harm, Or with stuff that you can get hold of legally. You know, think outside of the box always, right? Think outside the box, because they think inside the box. You think outside the box, they've got no idea what's coming. You know, everything's a surprise to them. Whereas bugging out, you've got to have somewhere to go. You've got to try and think about food, water, shelter, warmth. You know, it is a challenge. But that I'm quite fortunate that I've got that as an option. But I've stated categorically that I will die on my hill. I will die defending this house, because I wouldn't be living in this house if it wasn't for my late wife. And that makes this house 10,000 times more important to me. So I'll never sell up, and I'll never move out. Never. That's why I've tried to work towards being as self-sufficient as possible, living in a city, you know, which is why it was the channel was originally called City Prepping UK, because it was all about city prepping. And I met someone on the march that is living off grid in a city, off grid, no fields, full of sheep and milking cows, pigs for slaughter, chickens, hens, anything like that. Nothing like that. But he's smashing it, absolutely smashing it. He thought outside the box. I'm not going to go into detail, but it's doable. And that's what I'm trying to do. But I know that not everyone is in that position. But just know this, I'll always be there. If you ever want to try and maximize the situation that you're in, there's a massive wealth of information between all. Just talk to us, you know, we'll find a way. Solutions are what we do. Good to see you, Paul. And it was nice to meet you, Paul. I met Paul Twigger on the march. Proper nice bloke. And then ended the day having a couple of brews at his house before I went on my merry way. And that definitely won't be the last time I meet that man, you know. So I met him and Lulu Sherez. And yeah, so the next one is in Birmingham. So if anyone's interested, because I don't want to put too many details into the chat now, because it could get brutal. If anyone's interested in coming to the Birmingham March, which is in a couple of weeks' time, email me. My email's there. Michael, if you don't mind putting it, chucking it up on there, mate, I'd really appreciate that. Because I don't know how to do it from here. Email me, and we'll sort something out further down the line, and we'll meet up and we'll go on this march together. And it's just an incredible sense of solidarity. But the counter process that was there was full of absolute fucking nut jobs. They couldn't tell, they couldn't see. Yeah, Michael, you might be in a council house, but you can still make it a fortress. You know, if you want to, like, you know, share a few ideas, mate, I'm more than happy to help you out. Anyone. Yeah, these people. Thank you, Michael. So that's my email address. Michael's just put it up there. The Outrider. If you're interested on joining us at the march in Birmingham, you know, email me. I want to just make sure. I want to just check you out to make sure that you're not a wrong un. You know, I'm sure you're not going to be, but even if you are. So yeah, these people were just mad. They were crazy. So as the march started off, all of these beautiful flags, you know, Wales, Scotland, the St. George Cross, the flag that contains all of them, which is a maritime flag. I'm not a massive fan of the Union Jack because of what it represents, so I do apologize. We should be able to hold our individual flags but still be one. It's doable. The Union Jack is a maritime flag which covers maritime law, which is the law that we're living in, which is not right. We don't live on the water, we live on the land. We're not dead, we're alive. But yeah, if anyone wants to come, the more the merrier. Well, these people, they had no idea that we were carrying these flags in solidarity for their fucking future and their kids' future. Yet their faces were red with rage, bloodshot eyes, shouting and chanting. The ones that didn't have face coverings on, shouting and chanting and spitting. They were venomous towards us, completely and totally out of touch with reality, completely brainwashed. There are people like us, and all of the people I'm looking at in the chat, there are people like us who know what's what, and we're still managing to maintain our fucking sanity. And then you've got people like them that are completely brainwashed and have lost their sanity. This is what we're up against, our own. But I do think that over time, some of them are going to start to think, actually, yeah, I think maybe I'm on the wrong side here. I've been fighting for, say it loud, say it clear, all immigrants are welcome here. But last night I got sexually assaulted by someone from wherever who couldn't speak a word of English, and no one came to help me. They're going to have to, a lot of these people are going to find out the fucking hard way. They are. And then realize who is actually on their side. The people that they've been shouting and screaming at, we're there for them. You couldn't make this shit up. I'm sure you. 1,000 cans of corned beef. You see, I know that you guys are way more prepared than you let on, but you're doing the right thing by not letting on, It's precisely the right thing to do, Discretion is incredibly important. And I've fucked all that up really by doing a prepping channel, but so everyone knows what I do, everyone knows that I've got lots of supplies here, so I've not done myself any favors, but I've played a part in creating a beautiful online community, and B, good luck with trying to get my supplies. Away from said food. AA attendee, you never know, mate. Just stay focused and determined, and you'll figure something out. You will. I don't know where you live. I'm assuming by the way that you've composed your comment there that you live somewhere that might be slightly diverse. Let me know if I'm right with that. I'm really good, brother. You've been good. Honestly, you're 100% fucking right about the popo. Yeah, Yeah, I think I am. I do think that there are good police officers out there. I met a couple. I wanted to interview. I wanted to interview some, but they all got shy. They all got camera shy with me. You know, but I wanted to ask them some really really key important questions, and none of them would commit. You know, so they were happy to bump fists. They were happy to shake my hand. But as soon as it was like, I've just got a few questions, that was it. You know, and that's been passed down from top. So that sort of makes them complicit. It does, you know. I was just following the orders, and it's never a good enough excuse. The islands together, I love that, because I don't like the word kingdom. I really don't fucking like that word at all. You know, someone was it was Paul. Paul was saying, he says you had a Britannia, you showed a Britannia, and you said there was a mark on it, some shit on it. You couldn't get some shit off the coin, and very few people got what the point I was trying to make, because the shit on the coin that I couldn't get off this silver Britannia was Charles's fucking head. You know, but not many people picked up on that. So, but Paul got it. Yeah, king. The whole king. He's not our king. He's not our king. As soon as the monarchy becomes a corporation, they no longer hold any power whatsoever over us. None, zero. It's a corporation. It's a registered company. So therefore, we don't have a king. We literally don't have a king. We don't have a monarchy. All we have are blood-sucking fucking parasites that take a penny out of every pound. And let me go for a slash, because I'm getting on one now. Let me just go for a slash. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Right, so this country is responsible for changing the whole world. This small group of islands, you know, we changed the whole world, the course of the whole world, the whole world, everything. Our little tiny country, you know, mad. So we kick-started the Industrial Revolution, which changed everything. Now, we were the leaders as far as exports concerned. So our industry was so highly sought after. Made in England meant something. So the lace industry, which is Nottingham, that's where I'm from, you know, and surrounding areas. Sheffield Steel, the list goes on, right? Does anyone know what our 2 main exports are now? Please drop it down in the chat. Our 2 top main exports now. Considering we were doing everything. Anything that was useful and needed to be quality came from England. I love that, Ruth. Whiskey and shortbread. I love it. Wall was one. Bovril. Michael, absolutely on the fucking nail there, mate. That's one of them. Yeah. So I'll elaborate on that, Michael. Marmite. I think I'm Marmite. I think you either like me or you don't, which has become very apparent over the last 24 hours. So the royal family. This is one of the reasons why this whole Epstein. I did a short video outside whilst I was videoing my silver Buddha, my big fat silver Buddha outside, and I was talking about the Epstein list. And I was just goofing around because I was thinking, you're not going to find out anything. Nothing. You're not going to find out fuck all. There are going to be no big names that should be there. You're never going to find any of them. None of them. You'll never ever know. You'll never find out. And they're coming out with these. Everything that they're producing is already out in the public sphere. It's already out there. You know, the manifest lists of people that have flown on the Lolita Express. You know, it's all out there. You know. But there's no law against flying, so it's not incriminating. There is video footage. There's so much information out there, but they're not going to let that. They're not going to let that out to us lot because they need to keep it contained, so that they can keep the people that are being blackmailed contained, so that they can continue to be their puppet masters, you know. So the royal family, they've all got a job each. They've all got a part to play. And Prince Andrew, his job is arms. It's arms. He deals with the British arms, the British arms industry. So allegedly, I've got to say allegedly, he's a nonce for having sex with underage people, allegedly. And he's responsible for selling weapons that kills underage people. What a lovely chap. You know, I'd fucking love to get my hands on him. Just say, there's a list. I've got a list. What's this? Oh, Ruth. I always struggle with that word. Worcestershire sauce. I think that's gross as well. Do you owe to a local pub, Rose? Rephrase it, AA attendee. Oh, do I go to a local pub? There is a local pub Yeah, there's a few local pubs. Why do you ask, a attendee? I like that, Maria. I have a list. All of them. I can just picture you like that with your little cat. With nails that are like Wolverine. And this is fucking just slash them all up. Just guts and fucking hair flying everywhere. Oh God, that's an image. Thanks for that, Maria. I've been barred a few times, AASND. I did get one pub to stop selling snakebite. But I was quite young then. You know, I was in my early 20s, you know, and yeah, I have the nails, but not the cat. That's good enough. That makes you even more formidable, you know, because you don't need to get the cat involved, you know, just you. I'd love to learn how to do like sound effects and stuff. And I might pick your brains on how to do a little bit of editing. I said I'd never edit, but I think going on marches, for example, when I go on marches, I think I need to wipe so much stuff off my phone first, because that's my only means. I can't afford a GoPro. They're like a couple of £100, you know. So I go on marches, I'm just going to have my phone with me, and I'm going to need to be able to edit. And I've actually never looked into it, because I've always wanted the channel to be very organic, you know. I've never been editing, so I've never looked into it, because it's never really been part of our little tribe. It's never been part of our little thing, you know. It's always been straight, you know. We pulled off nearly a 9-hour live stream, unedited, uncut, 9 hours straight through, because we can do it, because we bounce off each other. It's doable, completely doable. I reckon I could do a 24-hour live stream for charity. That's an idea, but it would probably be an animal, like an animal charity, because you've got the British Heart Foundation, right, who have said fuck all about a massive spike in myocarditis, pericarditis, serious heart conditions. They've said fuck all, right? So fuck the British Heart Foundation, unless you want some cheap clothes from their charity shops or furniture, right? That's it. Cancer research, we've gone from 1 in 1,000 to 1 in 100 to 1 in 10 to 1 in 3 to 1 in 2. So what the fuck are you doing? Where's all our contributions going? You're not doing much research, are you? The list goes on. Yeah, what charity? Well, do you know what, right? I would definitely commit to a 24-hour live stream where I will I might flag a little bit here and there. I might have to get, you know, a couple of double espressos down me from time to time. And then as they kick in, I'll be like, you know, for maybe 20 minutes until I kind of ease back into it. But I would do that. I would do a 24-hour live stream for charity. But it would have to be a charity that everyone agreed on. And somewhere a little bit further down the line, maybe in a couple of months' time. Pubs are full of pub goers. I agree. What's the spider for, Michael? You know I don't like spiders, and there's one at my door again, just where the fucking handle is. But it's okay because it's like in the crack. You know, you've got the handle there, the edge of the door, then the door frame, and there's a little space in the middle. There's a big spider there. So yeah. That little spider emoji there, mate. I don't know how long it took you to find that. I can't even put emojis on there. You know, it's different on here. Yeah, my mate's got pericarditis and he's only 29. I'm so sorry, mate. This shouldn't be happening. You know, these are young people. They've done such a fucking job on us, and they've all got to pay. They've got to pay. This is why we can never give up. We can never give up. Justice has to prevail at the end of this. You know, I've already talked about going down, and again, you know, I know that the police might. I've drawn attention to myself now. The police might see this live stream, but I'll still say openly, if I could, I would go all the way down to Downing Street and drag Starmer out by his fucking nostrils and drag him through the streets of London and let everyone just have a go. I would, because he deserves it. In fact, Lulu and Paul were there when I walked past the police van and said, will you go down to Westminster and arrest Starmer for treason? And he just had a crack with me, you know. I knew he wasn't going to do that. And by law, to be honest, if it wasn't for that sick, twisted, horrible, disgusting, despicable, pathetic excuse for a fucking human being that was Tony Blair, that put into law that any prime minister can never get arrested for treason. If that wasn't in place, I could have arrested that police officer for refusing to arrest Starmer under common law. In fact, under technicality, I could still have done that, because that's like an act and statute that's over the top of common law. Common law is the underpinning of all law. So, in theory, I still could have made a citizen's arrest on him. And if you've looked in the community section of the channel, you will have seen a citizen's arrest on a copper. It's doable. It's doable. So to any police officers watching this, know who you fucking work for. You know, treat us well, we'll treat you well. Do your fucking job, you won't have any problems. But this summer, you can have your work cut out. Don't you open that trap door. We should arrest all those that pose danger to our lives. Yes, we should. We should. Yeah, because if you look at the law in general, if you threaten harm against another person, you know, so this is the tricky grey area in freedom of speech, right? Because if someone turns around to you and says, of course you've got freedom of speech, of course you have, but when they follow it with a but, you haven't got freedom of speech, you know. So don't tell me I've got freedom of speech and then tell me I haven't. I don't like contradictory terms. It fucking irritates me. It gets under my skin. So don't say I can say 99% of these words, but I can't say that 1%. That's not freedom of speech. Freedom is freedom. There's no compromise. But the grey area is that if I went up to some little old dear at the top of the street who was just minding her own business, just kind of working her way across the road with a Zimmer frame, and I went up to her and got into her face and said, I want to fucking do you, right, and freak her out, I should be nicked for that because it's completely unnecessary. But it's still freedom of speech. It's anyone that does something like that is a wanker, and they need to be slapped about. And I do think that that slapping about should be done by the public. We need to police ourselves. We can police ourselves. It's just the bit between now and getting there is a challenge, you know, a big challenge, but doable. The English Constitution. Yeah, it's there. It's there. It's there, Maria. Leave no trace. Leave no trace. Yeah, that's the golden rule for wild camping. And the whole camping thing, again, that myself and Michael are trying to sort out together. We've got approximately 6 people now. I know that some people might be put off. You know, it's like, oh, I don't know, a whole weekend with someone that I've never met before. You know, you've met us. You've got a rough idea. You've got 4.5, 5 years worth of video footage of me talking. You know, you've got one over on me. You know what to expect with me. I don't know what to expect with you, but I'm still game. You know, you'll be with like-minded people. So if you're interested, email me. Don't put any details, Michael, in the chat for obvious reasons, and we'll take it from there. So there's a maximum of 15 people that can come on this camp in June. I think it's the second weekend or third weekend in June. And yeah, join us. We'll have an amazing time. We've got loads of great ideas between us, you know, and I'm looking forward to meeting Michael. Good man. Good man. Do you do panels, Rose? Panels? What do you mean by panels? I've got no idea. Give me a bit of context, because I don't know what you mean. Discussion panels. We've considered. I've had a chat with Lulu Sherez. She's got her own channel. She's kind of she gets out and about, gets into the thick of it all. When it's kicking off, she was out there and doing a little bit of citizen journalism and filming everything as it was cracking off. She's a good woman, you know, good strong woman. And we've discussed the possibility of getting maybe 3 or 4 of us on a screen. I think 3 would be enough. I think 4 would be a bit too much, especially if we've all got plenty to say. So if there's 3 of us, then we've got 3 different perspectives and 3 different channels converging as well. So you'll have all of her subscribers and all of someone else's subscribers, and then our little tribe as well, all converging. I think it'd be really, really interesting, and something I'd like to do. But she's going to kind of give me a little bit of a free course on how to do that, and then we'll take it from there. So I don't know if that's what you meant by that, AA attendee. Are you where are you from, AA attendee? Are you from Liverpool way? Hey. Oh my God, that was such a shit dad joke, that. So many questions, AA. You are very curious. Yeah, I was thinking the same, Michael. Exactly the same. No, not Bristol. You're from Sussex, are you? Not further north, no? From what I've heard, yes, Michael. What I've heard is Sussex is one of the places where they're not going to be holding a local election. How do you feel about that? Because to me, that is sacrilegious to our way of life. We can't allow our governments to not allow us to have local elections. Now, a lot of us have heard over the grapevine little whispers 2-3 years back about them consolidating, literally purposely making local councils bankrupt and in so much debt that it's unreal. So create a problem, then they've already got the solution because they've created the problem on purpose. So the solution is to consolidate all of the local councils into one. Decentralization is what we need. Centralization is what they're doing. And it's very dangerous. If you care about your rights, you need to fucking fight this back. Hello, Lisa. You're right, sweetheart. It's easy to trace what I work in IT security. Nothing is deleted from the internet. VPNs don't work. They work for the average person who don't understand the back end of the programming and coding. That's very interesting. Very interesting, Lisa. Yeah, I think what we're all traceable. Everything we say is out in the ether forever. And I've talked about some very, very controversial stuff. I've got some very strong opinions on stuff, and but I believe it to be true. And if I think something's true, then I'll fucking say it. And everyone should be the same. In fact, if everyone was like that, we wouldn't be in this fucking mess in the first place. We wouldn't. If everyone grew up here of bollocks, apart from the ladies, because bit of a turn off, we wouldn't have this. We wouldn't be in this mess. Maybe on your 24-hour one, Terry, you could have different people on during the day. That'd be great. What, as in to take over from me? Nah. Having people, yeah. Do you mean? Yeah, you could join me. You could join me, Ruth. Just nip on. I don't know if you're camera shy, but you don't need to show your face. You can just have a little icon or something. A butterfly. Like the name of your channel. Just have a little butterfly on there and just talk, and we can talk together. You can keep me going. But I would do a 24-hour one, and who knows, maybe even a 48-hour. That'd be a wall out. I'm not committing to that. I would commit to a 24-hour one. Let me have a think about it. Yes, come on, Ruth, you can do it. It's that beautiful, cute little chuckle that you've got. You'll keep me going. You keep me going. I can put sandbags in the windies. You sound quite Scottish. But yeah, Ruth's other half is a Scot, proper Scot as well. Proper. And she did a little video on haggis, tinned haggis, did a little video, and her other half did a part of a Burns. Was it Burns? I'm so sorry if I've got that wrong. Burns, the poet, who did a poem about haggis, and he was perfect for it. You know, he could have been on stage. It was good. It was good. But if you care about your freedom, you've got to let these bastards know. You know, contact your local MP and just say, look, we don't want a consolidation of councils. We want our local councils, and we want to be part of that. You know, if I knew a little bit. Having said that, I'm getting to know more and more about politics as I go along, but I don't want to be talking about politics all the time. And I shouldn't have to be talking about politics all the time. Politics should be politics. That should be their domain. They should be doing their fucking job properly, so we don't have to be talking about it so much. But because they're a bunch of corrupt, useless pieces of shit, here we are talking about these corrupt, useless pieces of shit. We need to take our country back. We need to take our world back. And we will. But it's going to be fucking hard. If you'd have heard what I was saying when I got cut off. In fact, let me top up, and I'll go over it again, and we'll see if it won't cut out. It won't cut out again. I think it was probably just a glitch. I do. You know, I'm small fry, so just bear with me. Bear with me. Tell you what, these new supplements that I've been making, that I put together, you know, you've got a flat battery, right, and nothing quite works, but everything slows down a little bit, and then you charge your battery up and it's like boom. That's what these are like. All natural. So I know that a lot of people have been kind of discussing why we've got so many invaders. I like to call them that because that's how I see them, right? And people have heard rumors about weapons caches in hotels and stuff. I don't believe that. Right? However, I do believe that there's a nefarious reason for them being in our country and still coming, you know. And I do believe that there will be a fair few of them because of the regions that some of these people, not all of them, you know. I mean, you see a lot of people, don't worry, I'll get to the point. You see a lot of people going to these hotels and stuff and interviewing people that are quite happy to talk, you know, with what broken English they've got. They're quite happy to talk, you know. Where are you from? Egypt. Oh, yeah, there's a fucking horrible war going on in Egypt. Yeah, you really need to be here because of the war-torn Egypt and war-torn here and war-torn. You know, the vast majority of these countries, there's no war. There's no reason for them to be here. They're being invited. But in with that lot, there are quite a few people that are from war-torn countries. And some of these people have weapons experience. And I know that for a fact. That is a fact. So one of the things that a lot of people are hearing rumours about, and it's certainly something that I've not discarded as a possibility, and it is quite probable, you know, because there's got to be a logical explanation for all of this. And that would be that there would become perhaps some sort of UN peacekeeping set up, where they're all driving around with blue helmets on and policing our streets, a little bit like 1970s, early 1980s Belfast, but instead of British soldiers, we've got people from foreign lands, brown people that don't speak much English, and a lot of them fucking hate us because of what we've done to their country with weapons. Now, my argument that you won't have heard at the end of the last stream because it just muted for whatever reason. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Lisa Sheridan. I appreciate that. Sorry, I was just reading, just trying to keep an eye on things, but I know I don't need to because I know I've got eyes already on there. So we've all heard about the possibility of these being sort of like UN peacekeeping troops that are going to be just like patrolling the streets and stuff like that, you know, armed. Now, I think that is a possibility. But what wasn't caught at the end of the live stream that was muted was the fact that I said, and I stand by it, is that we are smarter than them. We ruled the fucking world at one point. It's in our genetics. We're clever, we're smart, especially us, because we know what's what. We see so much more than the average Joe sees. And we only need one or two people like that on each street. And but even then, we'd all have a common cause, you know, like the Protestants and the Catholics in Northern Ireland coming together now. All of the people that we might not have got on with before will suddenly come together, like we did in World War II. You know, people that just didn't get on. We had a common cause. We were all helping each other out, you know, digging, pulling rocks out to try and save people from the Blitz and stuff like that, putting fires out together. People that we didn't get on with, suddenly we had a bond. And that will happen if that happens. So I went on to say that each one of these vehicles would have between 3 and 5 men in each vehicle, all of them armed. All we'd need to do is take one vehicle, which is a doddle. I can't say why, not yet. Take one vehicle, then we'd have the weapons, which would make it easier to take the second vehicle, which would make it so much easier to take the third, the fourth, the fifth. We won't lose, but you've got to keep it together. Keep it together and keep prepping. Keep putting food aside. There are food shortages. They're on the way. I said this years ago, but I think I was maybe a bit ahead of time, you know. Now, the whole egg thing. I don't know if anyone's watched the. I put something in the community section about. I bet you're glad that you bought your freeze-dried organic whole egg powder whilst you had that 10% off, because it turns out that there's something in an egg that prevents the binding of the T cells. Is it? You have to watch it back. Go into the community section and have a look. That's what it's there for. I post a lot in there, and I post a lot on X. I don't bother with Rumble. Even though Rumble is probably a better option, it's easier. It's easier. But I'm telling you, there's something about eggs. There's something about eggs, you know, and they're trying to fuck these chickens up so that whatever eggs they lay. Let me give you an example, right? So if you're a pregnant woman and you're a crackhead, your child will be born. Chances are, it's very highly likely that your child will be born with a crack addiction or a heroin addiction. I mean, so many people end up becoming alcoholics because their parents were pissheads whilst they were carrying their child. You know, this is just simple science, simple biology, really, really straightforward. And, you know, just thousands of studies out there, thousands. Hello, Hugh. You all right, mate? Nearly missed you. Sorry, man. I'm doing all right, thank you. I'm doing all right. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. I'm doing fine. I'm doing absolutely fine. But at the end of all this, how will I explain why I was caught bumming my dog? There aren't any excuses for that, you know. And because the dog would not have been consenting. So bestiality and rape, I'm not quite sure how many years that carries, but I think that should be left down to the community again. Cheers, Michael. Where are we? Got shed loads of freeze-dried eggs. Yeah, I have, mate. I bought the first load when I did. I was hammering sellers. You know, look, you can make some serious money here. You know, you might be shaving a bit off your initial price, but the amount of sales that you'll make from our little tribe will more than make up for that. You know, and they were like, all right. So I did that the first time, and then I did it again, and I got another 10% off. So I've still got egg powder dotted here, there, and everywhere. Fuck knows where. You know, I don't know what tubs are in. I don't know what's in what tubs. I'm working my way through them. But I've bought 2 more kilos off the back of that special offer. Well, that special offer's ended now, so you'll be paying full price. But if I got enough emails through to say I want to buy some more, I'd contact them and say, look, I've got another X amount of people, but there won't be enough people to incentivize them again. It's got to be a periodic thing. I don't think it'll work again, not for a while. You should have took the chance whilst you had it. But I bought 2 kilos and then I put them all into, well, I did a video on it. I put them all into portion size pouches. And from what I've learned today and a few little things that I've heard over the last week, 2 weeks as well, in regards to the magic juice and the contents of an actual egg and all the good stuff that's in there. Now it makes sense why they want to get rid of these chickens. You know, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, it was both. We get rid of the chickens, you've got no fucking eggs. You've got no eggs, you've got no defense against that. None. And they're trying to put that in everything. Tomatoes, lettuce. This is why we've got to grow our own stuff, you know. Yeah, David. Yeah, it's so good for you, mate. So fucking good for you. And even though this egg powder is not, you know, it's not as enjoyable as a proper egg, you know. I like my eggs overcooked. Powdered eggs, it's not the same, but it's the nearest we've got to it. And from a prepper standpoint, which is what this channel originally was all about, from a prepper standpoint, it's extremely practical because it's freeze dried, and if you suck all the air out and vac pack it, it'll last for years. So when no one can get hold of any eggs, loads and loads of people around you. Oh, I miss eggs. I do. Do you? Oh, it's a shame that you've been asleep for the last fucking. How old are you? You know. Whereas we'll still be getting that goodness into us whilst we can. Engineers, designers, farmers, fishermen, seamstress, creators and makers of all kinds. Yeah. Creative people. Yeah. I do think that the vast majority of us are creative people. Creative. So I think our brains work differently, you know. We think so because our brains work differently, we've been immune. There are lots and lots of other theories out there as to why we were some people were duped initially, and some people did, you know, but they've come out of that, they've snapped out of that, they've realized, and they are one of us, and welcomed with open arms, you know. But I think that a lot of people that I'm talking to now that are chatting, hey up Lulu, hey up me duck. I didn't see you jump in there, darling. Good to see you, and it was nice to finally meet you. But yeah, we were all different, and there are lots and lots of reasons as to why that happened, and it's very interesting, and the downside is that it's just another form of division, you know, the jabbed versus the unjabbed. But there are so many jabbed people that are waking up and joining the unjabbed as a fight, you know. We have lots of seagulls. I see you guys. Thank you. We have lots of seagulls. Could you eat their eggs? Yes, you can. Yeah. If the poop happened, yeah, you can. Yeah. And there are some really clever ways of catching them as well. So you can not only eat the eggs, but you can eat the bird. But it's not pleasant especially if you don't like seafood. They're well, not just seafood, they're scavengers, seagulls. So you are what you eat. Same applies to birds. You know, they eat all manner of shit. But in a tricky situation, yeah, you can eat a seagull and you can eat their eggs. Their eggs are probably going to taste better than the bird, if I'm honest. Look into it. But yeah, you can, Ruth. You can eat seagulls' eggs, but they tend to nest in very, very awkward places. So you're thinking, right, I've got a 10% chance of getting getting to that nest and taking 2 of those 3 eggs, and a 90% chance of falling to my death. It's true when I was Hugh McBeath. It's true when I was a boy, food tasted better. It did taste better. Yeah. I mean, we had different farming practices back then. I mean, we're spraying human shit onto food now as silage. Human shit that contains pharmaceutical medication. That again, you are what you eat. You are what you eat, and what you eat comes out, and then that goes into silage and then gets sprayed onto fields to grow your vegetables. So just shit to think about. They're coming at us from all angles. Like I said, you know, it's a multi-pronged attack. And we need to have a multi-pronged defense, and then some, and then some. And we're doing that. We are doing that. Knowledge is power, but it's only power as long as you use it, you know? Let me just go for another slash. Once the floodgates have opened, you know, I'm sure there's plenty of you guys that understand that without going into graphic detail. I always do it. I'm sure you guys do too, you know. Who doesn't love a good old wee? Yeah, AA attendee. I think it's purely down to the fact that we usually get the same people joining the lives, and everyone kind of knows everyone, you know. And I think because you've been quite vocal, and if you look at the chat, people, because of a current situation, people are just kind of they've got their eye on you. We're just very protective of each other. That's all, you know. You could be completely innocent and harmless, and just keep showing your face and find your way in. You know, it's just we're a very, very established little tribe. That's all. You know, no one's attacking you. They're just saying, just, you know, ease your way in to a very established group. That's all. You know, if you're a genuine nice guy, you'll fit right in. It's just a time thing. That's all. I've just noticed it's midnight, guys. I don't know how many of you have got work in the morning, so I'm mindful of that, and I don't want to keep you up all night. So if you want to go till midnight, and then we'll shut it down. I'm happy with that if you are. Yeah, that's it. AA attendee. That's it. It's just people they're protective of what we've got here. You know, that's it. And you're just very, very cool. No offense. There's never any offense ever meant. We're just very protective of our own. That's all. Yeah, you see, Lulu Sherez, she was finding the gaps in between the police that had their faces away from us, keeping the Antifa lot and the communists back. She was finding the gaps and kicking the Antifa protesters in the bollocks in between the coppers. Bang, bang. No, she wasn't. No, she was all right. I'm sure it crossed her mind, though. Because it crossed mine. She was fucking, you could see it in her face. She was in her element. This is why I'm you know, it would be lovely to get some of you, if you can make it, some of you guys can join us at the Birmingham one, but by email only, which is, you know, it's in the description box. So email me first, just so I could just check you out and make sure that you are who you are. We don't want any infiltrators. We don't, and we'll fucking figure you out. If you are, we'll suss you out. We'll have you. But if you're not, you'll be part of what will feel like a fucking family. I guarantee it. Yeah, AA attendee. We've just never seen your name before. That's all. So we get suspicious. That's all, you know. And the live streams are a relatively new thing. They've only been going for quite a few months, and we don't want to. You know, we've got a really, really stable boat that doesn't want to get rocked too much. Yeah, well, mate, you know, just email me and we'll take it from there. Yeah, Lulu will keep an eye on you. She'll be watching you like that. She's a proper fucking hardcore Yorkshire lass. It's in the description box. Yeah, so Paul met Lulu for the first time. Lulu met Paul for the first time, and I met them both for the first time. And Annie, our Annie, she'll be joining us on the next one as well. And yeah, you'll love her. You'll love her. She's lovely. She's so lovely. Yeah, he is sad, isn't he, Lulu? I went back to his house for a couple of brews, you know, and he showed me his Land Rover. And no, that's not another word for cock. It was just yeah, he was a really, really nice guy. He's got a lovely pond and some carp in there, and really, really, really nice bloke. Proper nice bloke, you know. So yeah, it'd be nice if we could get Michael along. That'd be great. A bromance. Yeah, I suppose it was really. Yeah, you know, and he's going to join us on this summer camp with me and Michael and, you know, a few others. It'll be lovely. It'll be so lovely. I can't wait for that. I can't fucking wait for that. And we've got some great ideas just to sort of like, you know, activities and stuff that we can do. You know, I don't mean like, you know, group sex or anything like that. Proper activities, prepping activities, you know, nothing offensive. Skills, proper skills. So air rifles, crossbows, archery, self-defense. You know, I'll show you a few bits and bobs. Fire, music, food, drink, you know, just brilliant. Drink, not for you, Lulu. You know, shandy for you. Alcohol free. I don't want to wake up in my tent with two Yorkshire lasses' hands around my fucking throat. Saying, you made that fire too hot. Yeah, Lulu's feisty, but lovely. Proper lovely. She's exactly what I expected. So are you going to come with us then, Lulu? Are you going to join us? That'd be lovely. It really would, you know, because it'd be nice to have a, you know, a nice kind of balance of men and women. And, you know, so far we've just got one woman coming, you know, and you'd like her. You'd like her. No, I know that, Lulu. I know. Yeah, I know you're teetotal lass. But that doesn't matter. You don't need alcohol. You're larger than life anyway. In fact, do you know what? The idea of you being pissed horrifies me. I think I'd just be drained within about 4, maybe 5 seconds. Nah, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. You're lovely. Yeah, he literally did show me his Land Rover, and his Land Rover is older than me, you know, older than him, older than me, and the fact I just love that. You see, this is another thing, guys, that we need to realize is that I've got skill sets that probably a lot of you guys haven't got. But I know that you guys have got skill sets that I know I haven't got. As a collective, imagine how fucking amazing. This is how it should be, you know? So I can do this for you for free, right? And then all of a sudden you turn around to me and say, I can do that for you for free. Because I know you don't know how to do that. I've got experience with that. I've got experience with this. I've got experience with that. She's got experience with that and this, you know, as a collective, we're so powerful. We're so powerful. We just need more people to realize it. So yeah, you know, Paul can strip a Land Rover down to fuck all. A shell, bits of engine, nuts and bolts, washers, wires, and then put it all back together again. I won't have a fucking clue. And then he turns around to me and says, well, there's lots of YouTube videos, you know, that you can watch to do it. That to me means fuck all, because you can watch something and still think I've got no idea what's just happened there, you know. But then I can watch other stuff and think, got it. But with Paul, he's very practical, you know. It's the same as I romanticized about playing a guitar around a fucking campfire, you know. And I can play. I've learned quite a few chords. I can make it sound nice, but I can't play any songs, you know. But I would love to feel at one. In fact, I have done that. I felt at one with my guitar. I have felt it. But to play how Michael plays, you know, I could only dream of that. So this is what I'm saying. We've all got our own unique set of skills, and as a collective, we're powerful. We can support each other. We can help each other. That's how society is meant to function. And once we get into that and we get back to that, which is going to be one hell of a fucking battle. I've always said that it's going to be one hell of a fucking battle. You know, probably way worse than a lot of you guys are thinking. You know, I've never hidden that. I'm not all fucking fluffy flowers and butterflies and fluffy clouds and soft, gentle breezes. I'm honest. It's going to be tough, really tough. But on the other side of that hill, we can find perfection until we fuck up again and do a full circle, which is the human race. We've been here before. It's his carp that worries me. His carp, Maria, his carp, very, very big. Very big. In fact, he told me about one particular carp, and Paul, you know, you can't call me a liar. It was this big. You know when blokes turn around and say, it's this big. Yeah, we like your fieriness, Lulu. It's who you are, you know. Yes, I had a look after Terry's dog. Yeah, you did. Yeah, he took Storm for me. I bought a coffee. Went into a coffee shop, like proper fucking expensive as well. It's like £75 for what? So I came out with a cappuccino for Paul, a mocha for me because I like a mocha, and a normal coffee for Lulu. And Paul took his drink and my drink. I had Lulu's in my hand, and then in the same hand, and then Storm, being the powerful little bitch that she is literally a bitch, yeah, decided to do a proper shake, and that was the coffee gone. And then because I was surrounded by police, I'm thinking I've got to pick all this up now, because the last thing I need right now is a pig coming over to me and saying, I'm going to do you for littering, you know? Where are we? Was it Clapham Common. Oh, that's lovely. I love hearing stories like that, you know. I love looking through people's old photos as well, old photos. You know, when people say, "Do you want to see loads of pictures of my baby?" You know, when the baby's still a baby, I'll go, "Yeah, all right then," just to be polite sometimes. You know, when really, actually, I'm not fucking interested. When I see scan photos of someone's baby that's still in their baby, that fascinates me. But once I've seen it, I don't want to see any more. You know, I'm not interested. And most people aren't, you know. Motherhood is amazing to a mother. It's not as amazing to everyone else. And again, that's just me being honest, you know. But I love old photos of like old family photos. This was my great uncle, blah blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, you know, it's our heritage when England was England, you know. I fucking love my country. I'll fight to the death for my country. I will. So many people, especially the middle class, you know, a few millionaires that are all right, you know, they're not too bad. They're taking their business elsewhere. They're leaving the country by the droves and buying cheap property in Indonesia, Thailand, places like that. Just leaving. These are pussies. These aren't patriots. Patriots stand and fight. We need truth and honesty now more than ever. Yes, we do. Our ancestors knew how important these morals were. Yes, they did. Yeah. Oh, David, if you'd have been at that march, you know, they put a few things up on a big screen because we started off the march, moved through all these absolute lunatics, you know, and lines of police that did their job, and they did their job well. They did, you know, hands up. I've got to be honest. Not a big fan of the police, as you know, but they did do their job and they were friendly with us. So I've got no complaints about that day as far as the police are concerned. And that's the truth of it. And I think Lulu and Paul will agree. Yeah, nobody did mess with her. Yeah, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. She's a feisty fucker. Terry, I've sent you a clip of that Chaplin woman at protest. Tell me what you think. I'll have a look, Lulu, when we've we'll go for another 13 minutes. I think if we just try and just, you know, because I'm aware of the fact that you know it's Monday tomorrow, and I don't want to keep anyone up. I'm tired tomorrow, you know. That I wanted to just make sure everything was still working, because I didn't want that, because I would have had to have come up with a plan B pretty sharpish to make sure that we can continue to do this. So this was an unplanned live stream, but I'll have a look, Lulu, when I go up to bed, sweetheart, after this. Wouldn't it be good to be on your side? Yeah, Nick Kershaw. Nick Kershaw was that tall. Hello, Linz. You're late to the party, sweetheart. We've only got 12 minutes left. But I'm assuming that you're a night owl. I'm a night owl. Like I said, this is why I know I could nail a 24-hour live stream, but it would have to be for a charity, you know, and a good one, a really good one, preferably an animal one, because like I said, I've lost all faith in cancer research, British Heart Foundation, Red Cross, Save the Children, you know, fucking hell. Do some digging. We all have different skills. I can cook, make clothes, and DIY. Hey, there's nothing sexier than a bird. Excuse the phrase bird. You know, I'm not being sexist. I'm not a bigot. You know, a bird with a power drill. You know, going. That's it. Hedgehogs. That's proper random, Lulu. You know, give us some fucking context. Are you getting attacked by them? Have you got a hedgehog infestation in your front room right now? What's going on? Right, yeah. Did you know that there's been, I think it's a 90% You have to look it up. A 90% decline in the hedgehog population of the UK since the 70s, because everyone's putting fences up. You know, you can bore holes in your fence panels and create a hedgehog highway. This is why I've got a hedge on one side and I've bored holes on the other side, you know, just to help them out. I've even got a hedgehog house. I'll film it for you. I'll do a short. But I won't want to, I'm not sure if they've come out of hibernation yet, so I don't really want to lift it off, but I've got a hedgehog house in the bottom of the garden. You know, we need to be helping wildlife as much as possible because they're raining shit down from the skies. You know, they're obliterating us with so much information and so much bullshit, and destroying the environment at the same time. We can find balance between us, you know, without you know, taking out 8 billion people. Although I do stick with my remove the do not drink sign from bottles of bleach. I do. There are a lot of fucking knobheads in this world that are not good for us and not good for our future. And we need more people like you. So as harsh as that sounds, I stand by it. You know, I have got a heart, but I'm I do struggle with red squirrels have been finding their way back down south. Not very far down south, but they're starting to come back down again. So something's happening and something's working. So, and apparently grey squirrel tastes all right, you know, and you could make some like grey squirrel like briefs, you know, so nothing's wasted. And then some like kitchen utensils out of the bones. I know we've got vegetarians and vegans in amongst our guys. So no offense, but I don't like waste, and I like red squirrels. They're indigenous. I like anything that's indigenous. Yeah, I've had baby hedgehogs in my garden, you know, but they were siblings. You knew they were siblings because they were clearly not fully adult, and they were together, so they were siblings. They were familiar with each other. Underneath my little glass wicker table thing in the garden, I knew they weren't rats. I knew it wasn't rats because it didn't sound like rats. Rats are very discreet. And I looked under there and just saw them both. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I love hedgehogs. My garden is very nature neutral, you know, and it was Sal knew exactly what she was doing. Very, very good like that. I'm putting up a bloody acre of fencing, wildlife friendly. Let's the natural corridors open. Yeah, just all you need to do is you wouldn't believe how much of a small space a hedgehog can fit through. And not just hedgehogs, rats, you know, mice, squirrels, anything you can encourage, birds, anything you can do to make your life, your garden welcoming to wildlife, you know, and a pond or a water feature that doesn't run out of water quickly. So when you've got like those hot summer days, you won't believe how much wildlife comes into your garden. It's unreal. And yeah, they need our help, you know, especially our pollinators. That should be the number one priority. Our pollinators. Without them, we are fucked. We are. Because they've got state-of-the-art technology now that can, you know, plants that can self-pollinate, state-of-the-art hydroponics in their little shelters, underground shelters. They'll be untouched. All of this technology, all of this research, a lot of it was funded by these people for their future. As we die off, they can emerge to a paradise, that starts to rebuild itself. Fuck that. We're not going to go down that easily, They think we are. Where are we? I can imagine you've got a big power drill, Ray. Yeah, like a mechanical digger version. Yeah, I believe you are. I've met a few women in my life that, I've just repaired. I've just sorted the plumbing out in the bathroom. I'm like, oh, I won't know where to start with plumbing. I've got my own skill sets, and you'll have yours. There'll be things that I'm really, really good at, very confident at. And you'll have things that you're really confident at that I'm not confident at. And that's what I mean. As a collective, we're all powerful. We are. We can get through it all because we're solution-based. We find ways. We'll solve problems. We solve problems. And it's important that we maintain that mentality because it will get us through. It will, But like I've said before, it's going to take a lot more shit to hit the fan before the people around us start to wake up and think, fuck, how did it come to this? And then we step forward and go, because of you, you fucking retard. And people like you. Now, let's try and get the world back in order. Lock on the front, Argyle Forest to the rear of us. Oh my God, that sounds like heaven to me. It's classed as a temperate rainforest because it's on the Gulf Stream. Wee bit warmer. Feel so lucky to live here. You are lucky, mate. You are. Email me your address. I'll get a tow bar fitted to the car and bring a caravan up and rent the house out. So thanks for the invite, David. I'm going to take that as an invite. Hope you don't mind. Yeah, it does sound lovely. Yeah, really lovely. Yeah, we should all be grateful for the fact that we've got our health, right? To varying degrees, we're still alive, right? Our knowledge, especially our collective knowledge, right? We should be grateful for that. And be grateful for the fact that we know what's what, and we're starting to build on a community. It starts off online, but I've now met 9 people. So this is how it starts, and then you start to network, and then you get to know the people of the people that you know, and just keep building and building. It does feel like a very slow, drawn out process initially, but as time goes by, it builds up momentum. It does. It will. Please just watch this space, but we've all got to do our bit. We really have, honestly. I'm sticking my head up above the parapet, and I'm proud to do that. I once took a hedgehog to a rescue centre years ago in my car. Oh, so gorgeous. They're so cute. I've held one because the bastards to pick up, you know. But I've held one and it's kind of its back was in my hand, and then as it kind of started to relax, it opened up, you know, and you could just see this gorgeous little nose, and oh my fucking god, I love them. And the amount of space, the amount of area that they cover is phenomenal. It's unreal, phenomenal. Right, guys, it's 12:30. Right, I did say midnight, and I could do this again. I could do this all night, especially when we get going. You know, it's lovely. It's always it always almost feels criminal just to shut this down. You know, but it was genuinely earlier on. It was a tester just to see if the audio was up and running again and everything was okay. And we've yeah, it clearly is. So we're all right. We're good to go for the next one. So we're gonna call it a day. And if I don't do it like a little video or something, or a little walk and talk or whatever, I'll do a live stream during the week, and we can all reconvene and pick up where we left off. So on that note, much love to all of you guys, and thanks for joining. Thanks for joining us. You know, it's always lovely and nice to see new faces. You know, and yeah, like I said, if anyone wants to join us on that camp in June, email me, and we'll take it from there. Or the march in Birmingham, the more the merrier. Other than that, sweet dreams to you all.